Alright guys, I got a new one for you here. So let's talk about AYRO. So in this video I'm going to talk about who AYRO is, some of their products, and do a quick technical analysis and share my thoughts as well. Now before I get started, I always ask that you smash that like button, comment below if you have any questions or any details that I miss. I know I'll miss some details about this company. I just learned about it and it's pretty interesting, so I'd like to share that with you guys. Also, I encourage subscribing to the 9 to 5 Trader channel. What you get is weekly uploads from yours truly, including relevant videos like this and a lot of EV market videos. So feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Now let's jump right into it. So this is AYRO, ticker symbol AYRO. They're a small American EV company that was founded in 2017, so they're fairly new. And they have a market cap of about $150 million. Not too bad, but it's a very small company, so let's keep that in mind throughout this video. So for those who follow my channel, and if you don't, check the link above. I made a video about a company referred to as Solo. So this company is very similar to Solo, and Solo is technically Electromechanica. In my last video, I totally butchered that name, but Electromechanica, aka Solo, is very similar to this company, and I'll talk about some of their differences as well. But that's one company that we can refer to in this whole EV stock market. Now, for this company compared to Solo, this company is a little more commercial based. They have more of a commercial market target versus Solo, it's more for personal use. Maybe they'll expand one day, but that's something we really need to pay attention to. So next, let's hop over to my screen. Let's take a look at their website, and then I'm going to talk through the two major products and let you know whether or not they're worth buying. So I'll give you my thoughts on those. Let's hop right into it. So here is AYRO's website, ayro.com. Link is down below in the description to make it a little bit easier for you. But here's their website. As you can see, it's clearly a green initiative company, as it's an EV company, like any of them. Now, one thing I want to highlight here is what I mentioned before, their industries. So these are the top target industries they're going after, clearly a little more commercial. So education, right? They're looking more to establish like a fleet of vehicles for like college campuses, for maintenance, things like that. Corporate campuses, same thing here. Hotels and resorts, government, and food, beverage, and retail. So these are the target industries they're going after. As you can see, they're clearly more commercial, and it's kind of giving you an idea that this vehicle is more for like an enclosed area, right? It's more for shorter distances, so we'll talk more about that. But as you can see, here's a quick glance at one of their products. So this is the Club Car, and I'll jump more into that. But here's just to give you an idea of what they kind of look like, right? They kind of look like those maintenance vehicles you've seen around college campuses. For those who went to college or have been on a college campus, this is something you'll typically see a lot. And again, you know, guy here, it's got a flatbed, guy setting his ladder in, things like that. So pretty clean website. Now let's jump into their products. So here's their two major products. They have the AYRO 311 and then the Club Car 411. So I'm going to first start off with the AYRO 311. Now I brought up Solo earlier in this video, and this is the reason why. The Solo EV vehicle is very similar to the AYRO 311. They're both three-wheelers. They're compact. However, this is more for commercial use, so let's keep that in mind. So it's a three-wheel vehicle. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. So again, here it is. We have multiple body configurations. Just a little bit of highlights for it. Here's a cool picture of it. And here are the uses. So here's what I really want to highlight. So it's more for parcel mail delivery, public safety, cargo delivery, food delivery, parking enforcement, personal use. So they're still kind of in the personal use, average consumer market, but that is not their main target based on what I'm seeing off their website. So one thing I want to note too is some of their features. So again, something with this vehicle that is not similar to the Solo is that it has 2 passenger seats. So the one passenger, I believe it offers more cargo space, as you can imagine. So it's probably the same body size, generally speaking. But if you go with the alternate option, you have the 2-seater. Now, where is this kind of applicable? I can see it a lot with quick delivery services, maybe like DoorDash, anything like that. Anything they mentioned here below, I can really see that being utilized there. And it's probably fairly cheap as well. So scrolling down here, one thing I want to highlight is the performance. So it goes up to 50 miles per hour. Sweet. It has a 1 passenger plus cargo or a 2 passenger option, like I mentioned before. Looks like it has a range of up to 50 miles per hour, and it takes 68 hours to recharge, which is that's pretty crazy. I don't know why it takes that long. It must have a fairly weak battery. I mean, it only goes up to 110 volts. That's like your standard wall outlet, so that explains a lot. Some word of caution there. So now I personally have an EV vehicle. That's the only reason why I thought that was kind of strange. And even compared to the Solo, that gets a 100-mile range, and it takes about 3 hours to charge. So it looks like they have a little bit of research and development to invest into their battery capabilities, but the functionality is still there, and that's what's important for this company. Now let's talk about their other vehicles. So we have the Club Car 411, 4-wheel vehicle. light duty work truck. So let's take some more information. Now this is generally going to have about the same specifications as the AYRO vehicle, but I just want to, again, I really want to highlight this vehicle because I think this vehicle is going to take off for them. I think this is the one they're really gearing towards and sending out to the market versus the AYRO. The AYRO is just kind of like a side thing to have. It's like a little side caddy. Again, it offers a little more flexibility into that market space. So again, let's take a look at this. A little bit of a highlight here. You know, delivery service there. You know, it has that cargo option. It has the uses case here. So maintenance, services, events, kiosk, catering, and delivery. So like what we taught before, a lot of services involved in enclosed areas, kind of campus-like areas. So scrolling down, let's look at the performance here. So up to 25 miles per hour, okay. I mean, honestly, you don't need to be going faster than that, especially if it's on a campus, right? More than 25 is absurd. So that's probably why they limited it to 25 miles per hour. They don't need to put a bunch of money into making sure this thing's a speed demon, right? It's feasible. And coming down here, acceleration 0 to 20 in 6 seconds. Hell yeah. And then, good Lord, 50-mile range, okay. And 68 hours of charge as expected. So pretty cool vehicles here. I don't have a lot of information on pricing. Again, leave that in the comments. I know I'm going to miss some stuff in this video. This video is more for informative purposes and I'm sharing with you what I can, but here is AYRO and here's their products. Now let's talk about perhaps their most recent catalyst, which is their earnings that came out on November 6th. So we can take a look at that as well through this website here. So let's come up to here. Let's go to investors. Let's go to view press release. So this is their financial report reported on November 6th. So if we take a look here, revenues $388,000. Again, that's not a whole lot, but they only have a market cap of 150 million. They're a small company, so proportionally, that's probably not too bad for them. Adjusted EBITDA loss of 2.1 million, so they lost $2 million. But again, that could mean a bunch of things, right? There's so much factored into EBITDA. Take it with a grain of salt. Total cash 27.9 million. And right here is really what you guys need to look at if you're looking to invest in this company. So they're very progressive. They're doing a good job of really expanding, right? Cranking out more deliveries, doubling the square footage of their production facilities in Austin. Look into things like this. A lot of these key highlights. I'm not going to cover all of them for the sake of the video, but here they are. Pause the video, take a look at some of this stuff and read through some of this on your own. It's high level. I'm going to summarize it for you. They're looking pretty good for how small they are. I think this is kind of a sleeper company similar to Solo and a lot of other companies that I've mentioned as well throughout my channel. But let's keep our eye on AYRO and go from there. Now, next, I'm going to jump into a technical analysis. I'm going to pull up Thinkorswim, which is the trading platform I like to use. We're going to go into that. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts on this, give a little bit of a price prediction, and then we're going to finish off with that. So this is AYRO, ticker symbol AYRO, and this is the last 10 days. So this is the 10-day 30-minute chart. Now, what I can do here is back up for you guys and show you the big picture. I don't know much value that will serve, being that this stock really hasn't done much the last couple months or weeks. It's been very flatline. Now, what I can do at the very least is still get a little bit of information out of here. So I see historically it has bounced aggressively off this resistance level. So I'm going to call it a resistance level. It only hit it one time though, which is what I don't like to see. I like to see if it hit it more than once, but it gives me something to refer to, better than nothing. But again, I'm going to hone in on the more interim. So this is the last 10 days. As you can see, this stock has pumped tremendously. I believe it has been up. Yep, it's been up about 35% today at one point, and then we experienced a huge sell-off. Now, let's talk about it long term. So obviously, we're seeing a lot of pump, a lot of momentum. This volume is coming out of nowhere. This is happening across the board in the EV market. Now, I want to talk a little bit about that. So the EV market, in my opinion, people are going to argue that it's in a little more of a bubble right now. And a bubble is, you know, everyone's jumping into the hype. We saw this. One of the best bubble examples known in history is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin spiked to $20,000 overnight. This is not obviously to that severity or that strength, but here's my opinion. I don't think the EV market's in a bubble at all. I just think these companies are finally coming out of the woodwork. You know, people have known about them for some time, but they're so small and there's nothing that really kind of like got them pushing out there, right? Now, my thoughts are, I think a lot of this is attributing to just a lot of green initiative. We've seen this across the globe. I mean, it has been very strong, stronger than it ever has been in the last few decades. And then on top of that, you know, we have the election with potentially Biden being the president. If Biden is the president, expect a lot of induced volatility with these EV market stocks and more in the progressive manner. So I think Biden is way behind green initiatives and he's going to help push these stocks. We just have the mentality across the globe in terms of green initiatives, and these companies are just finally starting to catch steam. You know, they're all coming out with earnings and they're really raising eyebrows, right? Big examples are NIO, XPeng, all these EV companies that are a little more known. They're really helping push the whole market forward. So my final thoughts with this company, if you're an investor, I think you're sitting pretty good. I think you are. Obviously, do your due diligence and take care of your hard-earned money. That's not for me to decide. But honestly, the EV market is looking really good. You can really jump into any of these. But again, do your due diligence, please. I want you guys to do well on these. And I think there's a lot of potential here. We want to catch them early. We don't want to get into another Tesla. You know, Tesla made a lot of people millionaires because they jumped in when it was $100, $10, whatever it was, right? And then it broke through over like $1,500 and it got so strong they did a stock split and it's still pumping up. So let's catch these very early on. Are some of these the next Tesla? Probably not to that scale, but there's no reason why it can't scale up. There's no reason why it can't approach what Tesla currently is now. Now, Tesla, again, they're always going to be far beyond them. I guarantee it. I can see it easily getting to around $12 by the end of the year. So that's my personal opinion. That it's not entirely subjective. I did do some math. I'm just not going to get into the math for the sake of this video, but I'm thinking around $12 towards the end of the year. And that's fairly conservative. It hit $10 today. And I mean, we still have about a month and a half left till the year is over. So take it with a grain of salt. You never know what could happen. It could pull back tomorrow very strongly. Who knows? Set your alerts, have a plan, like I always mention, and take care of your hard-earned money. So smash that like button if this video helped you out. Comment below if I missed any details. I know I did. And also subscribe to the 9 to 5 Trader channel. We are now over 1,200 subscribers. I'm super pumped. I'm super humbled and super blessed. Thank you guys for the support. Let's keep on chugging, all right? So good luck to you guys the rest of this weekend. Happy Friday and happy trading.